This YouTuber just got 400,000 views on a video that's only 2 weeks old, and that is 4 times the amount of views he has to his subscribers. And here's exactly how he did it. This is Ramen Style. He is a friend of mine. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Vexine. I'm a YouTube strategist that helps YouTubers go from 0 to millions of subscribers. I've got plaques on the wall behind me. All of those are silver and one of those is gold. Now, this is Ramen Style. He is a guy who follows me on Twitter, which is really interesting because I post all the content that I do for free on Twitter and YouTube. So if you're seeing this, hey, go check out one or the other. But he DM'd me saying, hey, I really appreciate the post you've been putting out. It's really opened my eyes to a lot of things. Now, in relation to that, he was referring to my system that I do to manage my channel, manage my ideas, how I look at competitors, how I track outliers, how I then, use those outliers into videos. And yeah, he was like, yeah, I've been doing that. I've been seeing success. And this is when he texted me, was when he uploaded this video roughly. And then he had a bunch of massive success after that, which was awesome to see. Because if you look at before, his views are not bad. Like these are really, really good, but somewhat inconsistent. And now he has a much more consistent view floor with much less misses. So he let me know about that. And then I was like, hey, I was chatting. And he's like, hey, what do you think about this? And I was like, oh, I think this is good. Or like, what do you think about that? And whatever. And it just so happens to be that, hey, I'm really good at gaming. I'm really good at gaming strategy. I would say I'm the premier YouTube gaming strategist, having worked with some pretty massive guys all the way up to 30 million subs in the gaming space. So I was like, hey, let's hop on a call. I've got some free time that specific week, and I figured I'd give him a free 30-minute call just to help him out, to see, what we could kind of cook up. And one of the videos we cooked up, which is I played 5 Tarkov clones, you don't have to. That is a video for another time. But one of them that we cooked up originally was I played Tarkov the way BSG intended. Now, instead of doing that, he ended up shifting it to playing Forever Winter the way Fundog intended, which is a massive outlier. Now, the reason why I came up with that idea is if I look back at Mystery Or, one of the best videos of all time, this was during COVID time, so views are going to be inflated, but ignoring that, this video still did 73 million views. And if we were to just say, like, let's say we could just, work backwards, let's say this video right here is Minecraft Lego sets are illegal. This has, let's say, 20 million views. And let's say 30% of those views are, let's say, real views that are not like, let's say, trickle-down views. If we work backwards, right, we just do 4 times that, you get roughly 80 million. This has 73. Tends to work if I backtrack it. And then also ignoring the COVID times, this is still like an insanely good video, right? Even if I just say, like, okay, let's backtrack it. Let's say it's like 10%. It's still pretty good. So we use this, beating Minecraft the way Mojang intended. And then I always want to verify my data when I come up with an idea for a client. So this is one data point. This is a massive outlier in terms of a data point. It makes it a really good data point, but I need more. So I was like, what are other things that would be good? And I happen to consume a lot of content on YouTube. And one of the things I consume is Dark Souls content because I like Dark Souls. So because I do that, I knew for a fact there was another piece of data point, which was beating Dark Souls the way Miyazaki intended. So if I go here to JL Mothi, okay, and I go to his videos, and I scroll back, because we might have to scroll back. Oh, we don't have to scroll back too far. Outlier, 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 outlier. All of these are massive, massive outliers. It is the same format as Mystery Or, which is super cool. So I was like, hey, that's awesome. We should try that for BSG. Obviously, it's a little bit different. No one's really kind of done this in the FPS market too much yet. Very, 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 like, let's say minorly. And he has a massive dedicated audience. And Tarkov is a really brutal game. This specific guide works for really brutal games and games that people already have mastered. Because it's just interesting. Really brutal games, like, okay, well, how would the developers do intend to like beat you this, like to beat this brutal game, right? And the other ones, like, everyone knows how to play it. Like, okay, what do you mean there's a way to play it correctly? What do you mean there's a way to beat it the way intended, right? Those are kind of like the two kind of like modalities as why people kind of like consume this piece of content. Like the question they ask themselves before they click, right? Or the question you want them to get them to ask themselves before they click, so they have to watch for completion. So that's what we came up with that. I thought it was a really cool case study to see it live for a guy that just follows me on Twitter. This could literally be you if you follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Grayson Goodwood YouTube Strategy. You can just straight up get all this information for free. That's all he did. And then I reached out to him and I helped him just get over the line. I helped him with some of these other videos as well, like this video here. And I think another one of those videos as well. I think maybe this video, which, hey, didn't do too well, but still almost 100,000 views, which is actually pretty good. So yeah, I just thought I thought it'd be like kind of a cool case study. And I thought I'll give you guys a little bit of free sauce. Anyway, if you are a gamer or if you are some type of guy in an adjacent space, right? I would highly recommend doing this content because I just found a video, I think as recent as 4 days ago, which was beating Skyrim the way Bethesda intended. So I recently just saw this video from Samuel III, okay? So 6 days ago. I saw it 4 days ago. This video is a 300x outlier. This is playing into the Mojang angle, a game that everyone knows and knows how to play, and is doing really, really, really good. So my assumption is this is going to be an incredibly good format. Actually, it's not my assumption. I already know it's an incredibly good format. I have multiple other clients doing the same thing in their respective games right now, just because I know it's so good. And I thought I'd let you guys know as well, if you are a gaming YouTuber or if you're not a gaming YouTuber, right? I would maybe do something like, let's say using Facebook the way Mark Zuckerberg intended, right? Or using Twitter the way Elon intended. Maybe not like the best off the top of my head. I'd have to like really kind of think. Usually I'm pretty good on the spot stuff, but yeah, just like using XYZ person intended, right? And that's the kind of the way I'd go about using it. So that's essentially it, right? Or actually a great one would be playing basketball the way it was intended, right? So basketball has massively evolved because originally the way basketball worked is like you could only like pass it once, like you could never pass it yourself. And the way people got around that is they would dribble it off the floor, or you couldn't hold it, so you had to like pass it back and forth. But if you dribble it off the floor, it leaves your hand, therefore it's fine actually. It's a feature. So if you go back to play the original version of basketball, a little bit different, right? So yeah, that could be interesting, like playing basketball the way it was intended, and then like maybe like a thumbnail like no dribbling, right? But yeah, so that's how we came up with this idea. Again, free 30-minute call, and it did 400,000 views. That's super sick. Also, this is Get Steam the Third. I don't work with him, but he is doing actually beating Skyrim the way Bethesda intended, which is very, very, very similar to the Minecraft one in the sense that every single person knows the game and has played the game and has sold 60 million copies. So the way that I would go about doing this is I would do this thing that I call reverse index ordering, where I would figure out what games have the highest sales volume, and then I would do it backwards, where it's like, okay, maybe not Tetris. Okay, doesn't make sense there. Maybe Minecraft would be good, right? Beating Minecraft the way Mojang intended in 2024 as a potential modifier. I would probably skip over Skyrim if someone had just done it, but I would also look at really hard games. Maybe you could make a whole channel around this, to be honest, with like enough popular games. I think another one that makes a lot of sense is GTA, and you could do this with all the GTAs, right? Probably 4 and 5 is the ones that people are going to know the most, and Red Dead 2 is another massive game by Bethesda. So I would do beating GTA 5 the way Rockstar intended, beating Red Dead Redemption 2 the way Rockstar intended, beating GTA 4 the way Rockstar intended. All I think are pretty solid ideas. But yeah, that is that. I thought this would be a little cool case study to do. This is something I verifiably did. He's a cool guy. I think he's probably going to be the biggest Tarkov YouTuber eventually, or if he wants just to be the biggest extraction shooter YouTuber, he can do that. Yeah, so massively successful, and he just literally copied what I was talking about on Twitter and got success from there, and then he ended up rolling that into even more success. So I want nothing but success for him, and if you want success, I know we're saying that a lot, you can hit me up on Twitter if you want to work with me. We have spots available, very kind of limited, as we're almost at capacity, but we do have some spots available, 2 or 3 at the very least, for any type of clientele. So if that's been interesting to you, follow me on Twitter, and make sure you check out the YouTube channel where I have way more in-depth stuff and exclusive stuff that you can only find there.